Hey, good morning, Wolfpack. Good to see David and Skyla. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are
Well,
you?
thank you. Thank you, David. Thanks for being patient. And Skyla, we had a little conversation beforehand. I appreciate both of you being here today. So we're once again pushing this out to all students today. I want to thank you for being here on your official count day or attendance on virtual pieces. A reminder to all of you, as this recorded units coming out to unit, this recorded message coming out to you to stay on top of your commitment, coursework, face-to-face, and video conferencing. So with that being said, I want to jump right into today's game plan because we're going to have some meetings right after. David, thanks for being flexible. All right. I appreciate that. You've already been, and speaking of David, I want to just, and Scott, I had a good conversation with you guys. Once again, I just put up there as an image, sign up if you need an opportunity today. We have quite a few students in today. I would say quite a few. We've got 5 students in today face-to-face, so those usually are here with us. So today it's a small, lean group, but we also have them taking NWEA. And I want to kind of shoot out, not only for those who are with us live, NWA is going on this week and next week, and as virtual learners, that's kind of something we tackle on the end of February. September, October. So we'll be pushing it out to you, David and Skylar. We talked about how we'll do that at home. Okay. Yeah, Skylar, we'll be working on how I'll facilitate that. Okay.
All right.
And I'll talk to you guys individually. But to all the rest of us, we're going to be facilitating on your face-to-face day as you come into G2S. That's going to be the #1 priority to complete that. One area I want to push out in today's webinar is expectations. And being a recorded piece today, I want all of us to respond. And it's kind of a new protocol that we'll have for virtual students. To help and assist you for those moments, I got a notification last night that 2 students could come in, but there's still a requirement of your webinar series. So what I am going to do starting today is to assist you in reaching that expectation. So if you are not able to be here live like this today, you can join us on our webinar series where you can monitor, watch, and also monitor your findings. And I'll have that shown right here. So if David and Skyla are with us live, let me show you. It's on our homepage. And if you click on home,
that was Mr. walking.
That was Mr. Benster in the back with candy.
Stack of candy bars.
He didn't even stop. What was that? Who was that masked man? But he didn't even give me one. I mean, come on. But on your home page, he's quite a card, isn't he? All right. On your home page, I'll have them right down here. There'll be webinars. They'll be uploaded on YouTube, but there'll be a collection of them and data down here. So if you miss a webinar, under home, once you log in, you normally go to modules on home. You'll be required to watch it, view it, and then I'll have a response document that can take place of an absence. So if you're required to have 3 out of 5, and man, you just had a bad week or you're just not attending, obviously I'll be reaching out to you, but you have an opportunity to make that up. And more on that, actually I'm going to be pushing out a webinar on how to do that. I did not expect to go over that today, but I will. All right?
All right.
Sound good?
Yep.
Good, Skyler? Okay. I know there's a safe over my shoulder. You know the combination, David?
No.
I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to maybe, no, I don't know. Is there something about a safe? Maybe, I don't know what's in there, a gold mine or just stay out, right? I'm been sequestered in the back by the candy up here, because everybody's spread throughout the school doing NWA today, so I'd be too loud. So anyway, the candy man, he was delivering candy for everybody who takes NWA. Anyway, I didn't get anything. But anyway, back to our webinar. Real quickly, Skyla, David, I really would like you to participate in this, and actually this is one of the areas I'm going to have all students participate. This is the document. Would both of you, if you could, what are expectations? Click here. Click on this button if you would. And tell me, for those who are live, can you see this doc? Or do you have to ask permission?
Yeah.
You're good to go. Yep. I see David and Skylar in. Could you please type in your name? I'll take a third set. Mr. Q. Could each of you type your name in a cell?
I'm trying.
Is it allowing you, or is it only read only?
I think
It's view only.
or it says view only.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Who did that? Who did that? Okay, let me try to do one more time. Could you guys edit only? Could you refresh your page? And I'll try it. Just refresh up here, see what happens. So hit the refresh. I hit the refresh, see what happens now. Okay, there you go. Excellent. David's in. Skylar, you can type in. All righty. Awesome. All right. Now, the question is, before we watch a video, and this is the main activity I wanted to have all students who are watching this view. After watching the video, identify one expectation that connects with you. So what you're about to see is a video on expectations, but it's not what you think. Not expectations that others have of you, but of what you have of others. Give an example of a deeper reason why you felt this way and type in your responses. So in essence, we all have expectations, and sometimes those expectations can get the best of us, right? We expect people to be on time. They show up late or don't show up at all. We're disappointed. Communication breaks down. We have issues, right? As we said earlier, if you have a pulse, you got issues. So that could lead to a lack of communication. It could lead to some other issues you have. So keep this in mind. There's going to be one that really resonates with you, and we'll kind of do this little exercise together because I want to see everybody participating because it's huge. I have expectations today that all 24 students would attend today's webinar. Are they here? No. Well, I do know that 5 of them are here taking undue EA, so they're okay. They get credit. But I do appreciate Skylar and David. I know others have other commitments. And so do I get angry? Do I, lash out, or do I act? No, I don't, because it's the way of my mindset that I've created. And I want you to think about that watching this. So this is a short 2-minute piece, actually 3 minutes. I want to hear your thoughts afterwards. So let's watch this together.
That schools have high expectations of students. Who's not for high expectations? But what about the expectations that students have of our schools? These get much less attention, but they are essential to keeping us in school and deeply engaged in our learning. Just what are these student expectations? I see 10. Relationships. Am I just another face in the crowded classroom, a test score? Or
So as you watch this, which of these expectations resonates with you as the most important that you have of others?
My teachers know about me and my interests and talents. Do they help me to form relationships with adults and peers who might serve as models, mentors, and coaches? Relevance. Is it just a series of hoops to jump? Or is the work relevant to my interests? Do my teachers help me to understand how my learning contributes to my community and to the world? Time. Am I expected to learn at a constant pace decided by the teacher? Or can I learn at my own pace? Is there time for my learning to be deep as well as broad? Timing. Do all students have to learn things in the same sequence? Or can I learn things in the order that fits my learning style or interest? Play. Is there always pressure to perform? Or do I have opportunities to explore and make mistakes and learn from them without being branded as a failure? Do I have opportunities to tinker and make guesses? Practice. Do we learn something and then immediately move on to the next skill? Or can we engage in deep and sustained practice of those skills we need to learn? Choice. Am I just following the same path as every student? Or do I have real choices about what, when, and how I will learn and demonstrate my abilities? Authenticity. Is my work just a series of dittos? Or is the learning and work I do regarded as significant outside of school by experts, family, and employers? Does the community recognize the value of my work? challenge? Is it just about completing assignments? Or do I feel appropriately challenged? Am I addressing high and meaningful standards of excellence? Application. Is my learning all theoretical? Or do I have opportunities to apply what I'm learning in real-world settings? So there you have it. 10 expectations that should have equal billing with the school's expectations of students. I think of these expectations as imperatives, must-haves for every learner. I'd like to tweet these imperatives to every teacher in America and post them on every school's webpage. I'd like to propose that schools evaluate themselves not just by their students' test scores, but also by students' judgments about how well the schools deliver on these imperatives.
Amen.
What do you think? Go to leavingtolearn.com.
And that's the question I want to share with you here live, and also those who are watching this recording. What do you think? And so what I'd like to do, for the sake of modeling, is not write anything right now, Skylar, David, and me. The three of us are modeling this for the rest of us. Is what do you think of those 10 were important to you or resonated? Who would like to go first? Just share out what imperative that you have that you felt was and why, if you don't mind. Or if you want me to go first. Skylar, David, you tell me.
Doesn't matter.
What's that, Skylar?
You go first.
Okay, David, you go first then. All right, doesn't matter today. Which one did you think, David?
The relationship, because when I go to OJ for the couple hours, we just go in class, do work, and like we really never talk to the teacher or anything in that. And we just go there and do school, and then we leave the class.
Do you feel that the teacher knows you?
Not really.
It's powerful, David. That's powerful. Thank you for sharing that. I'd like to expand on that even later today in the writing piece. Skylar, which one means to you?
The one about, like, how everyone has to learn at the same pace.
And why is that? What is it about that learning at the same pace that you don't like, that you chose that one? Why is that?
Because I just feel like everyone has their own way of learning it and stuff. And it takes more people more time.
So what I hear you saying, Skylar, is that we all learn at a different pace, right?
Yeah.
They all need that extra time within the structure of that, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And David, what you're saying is, hey, you don't even know me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, wow, I'm so glad you guys went first, because you're making me think right now. I mean, making me think, and these imperatives do make you think as educators and schools, but also Skylar and David, and for those who are doing this later, is think about those relationships in your life that people have of you. Like, do your friends really know you? Or Skylar's comment, how does that apply to my real world, where like working, learning at my own pace? Do your friends and those you surround yourself, do they really look at you as a unique individual, as your own entity? Or do they try to compare you to others? Now, what I'm trying to compare there, Skylar, is that, when we judge either our circle or those outside of our circle, do we really look at the value and the beauty of each individual and what they bring to the group, right? And that could be learning at your own pace. That could mean strengths and weaknesses that you have. I think it all goes into our real world too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you for, the one that resonates, I'm a relationship kind of person too. And like Skylar says, that's what I love about G2S, because I got tired of the traditional way of just everybody just regurgitates and what's your test scores. And so that's wrong. It's actually, I have a word for it. I call it educational malpractice, just like medical malpractice. It's poor practice. And you too spoke volumes about what's important to your practice. I think application is important too. I'm a relationship kind of guy too, as my first and foremost. But the one that really resonated with me deeper was everything we do must serve a purpose. Like application. Do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, if there is, and this is my challenge, I think about the last 10 years, I've brought this out into my whole classroom, or I want to share this with you too and whoever's watching this. Anything we're doing or required to do, if you don't see a connection to your real world, you have a right to speak out and and you may not like the answer in return, but I think that application, if you're confused of the disconnect, why we do what we do in schools, then you better let your voice be heard. And maybe in some schools, David, you couldn't let your voice, hey, do you know who I am? You know, and what you're saying is that, no, you do matter, and it's not that intentional, but what the message you're receiving is, no, you don't matter.
Yeah.
If you don't take the time to know me.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's controversial, and people be upset with me saying that. But I challenge anybody, even myself. If I don't know you, then I've failed. And so I think application, why we do what we do, making connections in the real world. I think the individual project plan we're working on, David, is, I hope, something that we build and get better at. And Skyla, I hope that, you know, we'll talk deeper at on Thursday where what are the things we're doing in our coursework that really can maybe work into a work-based environment and get credit for your work at your job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's huge, and that's what schools should be, and that's what we should be working towards. And those are expectations or imperatives you guys have of us. So, man, I didn't think two people could, or three of us could have such a deep conversation, right?
Yeah.
I love it, man. This has been awesome for me personally. So I want to thank you, Skylar and David, for sharing your insight. Very well thought out. I very appreciate it. So just really pushing out tomorrow. I'm going to really, I can't wait to share one of my favorite things about computer science, because I call myself a knuckle-dragging social studies teacher for 100 years, and all of a sudden I got turned on to computer science. Why should I even care? But tomorrow's episode is kind of more or less, why is computer science and algorithms important to our lives? And maybe it could develop into a possible course or an idea that maybe one of you have for a project coming up. So stay tuned tomorrow. I feel like an infomercial. How's that, right? Until our next episode. All right, Skyla, thanks. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday, face-to-face. I do want to probably contact you today and talk about how we're going to schedule our NWA for those who are virtually, and I'll have that plan kind of set up later today. David, all right, sound good, Skyla?
Thank you.
Yeah, all right, girl. We'll keep in touch. Good seeing you this morning, and we'll see you on Thursday, and hopefully see you tomorrow morning too. David, you stay on the line. Tell tomorrow everybody stay connected.